Ladies and gentlemen, welcome in. I just wanted to touch on the groundbreaking situation regarding the Twitter files with Elon Musk and basically confirming everything we already knew, unfortunately, and then talk about kind of my theory on why the Twitter files, at least to me, do seem a little incomplete. Now, I've already seen the arguments on the Twitter files both ways in terms of them being a nothing burger, them being everything. But the first thing I wanted to show people, they had a very interesting comparison between Fox News and MSNBC on the amount of coverage a certain political topic got, right? And the one I really want you to look at is the China protests. And you can see there's basically the bar is fully shifted to Fox News. So Fox News has been covering it, looks like a little bit compared to some of the other stuff, but they've at least been covering it. MSNBC not covering it at all. And there you can see the China protests. And again, guys, you wonder, MSNBC, this is a major story. You would think this would be kind of a, really a no-sided story. These are horrible conditions. The Chinese people have no rights, things like that. Why wouldn't MSNBC cover this historic moment for Chinese people and really coming up and rising up against the horrible government that has so much control over them? And then, guys, you realize the actual situation. It's like, why won't they do anything when it comes to covering the Twitter files? Well, it's because they agree with censorship. Of course, they can't come out and say it. So Rachel Maddow, when she does her segments every night, she's not going to come out and argue against the Twitter files. She's just not going to talk about it. Because they can't say, no, we're for censorship, which they are. They admit it. That's why when they had control of Twitter, they came out and they made the excuse, listen, yes, we're censoring people, although Jack Dorsey says they weren't. He obviously lied about that. They said, yes, we're censoring people. They ended up embracing it these past 2 years. It's a private company. We can do whatever we want. We don't care that Twitter is so influential among young people and it's such a huge platform for American political discord. We don't care about any of that. We're a private company. We're going to censor people we don't like. There's nothing you can do about it. So they agree with it. So they're not going to cover anything that has to do with the First Amendment, with people fighting back against the government, because that is not positive for them. It really does say something when you actually, like, when you think about it, they endorse the censorship. So how can they make an argument for censorship? They're just not going to cover it. They're not going to touch the Twitter files situation. And unfortunately, this day and age, I heard someone make a really good point. The mainstream media chooses, especially with young people, they choose what's important. So something could be really important, like these Chinese protests, and you look at it and you say, we need to never let it get like that in America ever. Of course, you had people on the left fighting for situations just like in China, saying, hey, we need to shut everything down. If you go out without a mask, you're endangering people. You're a horrible person. You need to work out with a mask on. You need to obey everyone. You need to put stuff in your body no matter the situation. They were all arguing that. So it's almost like they can't cover the China protests because they would be complete hypocrites. So that's a real interesting dynamic. But when it comes to the actual Twitter files, we got another part. And of course, these are groundbreaking. Of course, they're huge. We already knew all of it, but it's good to see the screenshots confirming it. And this is kind of the most important breakdown. I also want to talk about what I think they deleted, because if you look back on the first Twitter files that was released last week, there were definitely some holes in the story, and it's not because Elon was hiding anything. It's because I think they deleted it. And then I also think they deleted a ton of stuff when they, blocked the Hunter Biden story, and you've got, YouTube, Twitter, Facebook, they all block and censor the Hunter Biden story. What a coincidence. Trump gets banned at the same time on every major social media platform. What a coincidence. There's clear collusion among all of these major social media companies because they don't want to be the only one to ban Trump. They don't want to be the only one to block the story. So if they all do it, that becomes the mainstream talking point. Oh, it's all Russian disinformation. Everyone already banned it. You're stupid for even believing it. They create the talking point. So let's get to this. You can see this is tweet number 7. What many people call shadow banning, Twitter executives and employees call visibly filtering, or VF. Multiple high-level sources confirming the meaning. Think about visibility filtering as being a way for us to suppress what people see on different levels. It's a very powerful tool. A senior Twitter employee said VF refers to Twitter's control over the user visibility. It used VF to block searches of individual users to limit the scope of a particular tweet's discoverability. So they're manipulating everything. It says you can't trend, things like that. And this is all without users' knowledge, obviously. And this is with Jack Dorsey coming out multiple times and saying in 2020, we're not doing that. This was during the election, things like that. He said, no, we don't do any of that. When he listen, I don't think Jack Dorsey, I have no clue personally, but I have heard Jack Dorsey actually was kind of controlled and he's not a bad guy, but I don't know. I'm not going to say that. I don't want to badmouth Jack Dorsey because I've heard some things where it's like, no, he's actually believes in free speech and stuff like that, so I don't know. We can, and then you can see it says, the group that decided whether to limit the reach of certain users was the Strategic Response Team, Global Escalation Team, often handled 200 cases per day, and this is the smoke and gun. This is a professor at Stanford being censored who is, clearly has significant good resume there, but still he gets censored, received a strike, and you can see he has a blacklist on trends. So I'm guessing no matter what tweet he puts out, the tweet cannot trend. And then this is kind of the bigger one here. The Libs of TikTok account notifications spike. I'm not sure. Maybe that just means they're popular. I don't know. There you can see the trends blacklist, recent strike, Twitter blue verified, multiple accounts. So it knows how many accounts you have. Strike counts 2, high profile, and there it is. So they tag these different accounts, and it is total social media manipulation to try and censor certain accounts, and especially an account like the Libs of TikTok, which has to do with TikTok, has to do with potentially influencing young people. You've got these young boys and girls, 13, 14 years old. They see an account like this and they see how crazy, some of these people are. Maybe they'll think twice about doing it. Of course, guys, this all goes back to the ridiculous battle royale we've had for social media. And why is this even a conversation right now? Guys, the only reason we even have this leg to stand on with Elon Musk is because he's the richest man in the world. If Elon Musk did not have $44 billion laying around, we would be right back at square one. We would have to sit through the same arguments. You've got they're all parroting the same thing. Yes, it got to the point where they admitted, yes, it's censorship. I mean, I talked to so many liberals, they're like, yes, but they can do it because they're a private company, right? That was the rule, and that was the response I got. And what I would say, that's so reckless, that's so dangerous, that's so anti-American. There's no logical response to it, and now they want to sit and cry because Elon Musk is bringing free speech back, and they're making up total sham numbers saying hate speech has risen, when really, when Elon Musk took over, what happened is Democrats made a bunch of shill accounts, shill bot accounts, spam the N-word about 300 times per minute from the account, and then got that fake data and said, look, the N-word is way up, it's trending, it's this, it's that, when really it's just a bunch of fake bots tweeting it over and over again. It is disgusting. It is pure manipulation. And listen, you want to know Elon Musk spending all this money, investing all this time into Twitter. A lot of people wonder why that's the case. He's so smart. He should be working on space and technology and cars and things like that. Elon Musk understands if you fight for free speech, you're always going to be on the right side of history. Guys, right now, we're in the fog of war, right? We're in the moment right now, so it's like foggy. Is this right? Is it right? 10 years, 20 years, 30 years from now, we're going to look back and we're going to say, this is crazy. We've got an individual fighting for free speech against all these people trying to manipulate young people. And guys, the numbers are so sad and so disturbing. You take a look at the recent stuff coming out of Arizona State. 97%, I believe, of those high school students that voted in the midterms voted for the Democrat. And even if you are a Democrat, you do have to sit and say that's a little ridiculous. 97% voting for it. It's almost a cult thing. And they've turned it to where if you want to be a good person, I've said this so many times, if you want to be a good person, vote liberal. They've made it a moral thing. And unfortunately, with younger people, it plays to them really easily, especially the females, but also the males. If it's 97%, it is both genders. Of course, maybe I shouldn't be saying both genders with that whole situation going on. But guys, overall, you can see this tweet breaking. The governor of Texas just banned TikTok on all state-issued devices. That is certainly good news. Shouldn't he have banned assault rifles before TikTok? Absolutely not. That is a total false equivalency. TikTok, listen, this is something that Trump tried to ban because it's basically Chinese spyware. They did a great job manipulating, infiltrating younger people in America. And listen, I have nothing against like the idea of TikTok, although I think it's terrible for kids. They're getting constant stimulation, and then if they get bored 2 seconds, they've got a new video. I think it's horrible for the mind. But if you want to have like another Vine or something, you could just create that in America and we could get rid of something that is controlled by the Chinese, right? I think that would be good for everyone. So I have nothing against TikTok. I have an issue with where the data that TikTok gets, where it goes, and how it's controlled. So overall, guys, right now, to give a full, quick summary on the situation surrounding the First Amendment, I might have to do a separate video just talking about how important it is that this is really just the beginning. You've still got Google. You want to talk about something crazy with Google? I'm going to show you guys a screenshot, and it is shocking. I found this off of Reddit. You can see what is going on there. That is pure manipulation. The number one thing in the world being completely censored by Google. So there needs to be a unwillingness to go along with the idea that censorship on the internet is a good thing, and we really have to continue this conversation to other platforms like YouTube, like Google, places where it's still happening. And again, guys, just going back to that first thread on the Twitter files, a lot of us were looking for the smoke and gun, the direct, involvement, government with Twitter. And I think most of that was deleted. They had time to delete that. Elon Musk, it was official that he was buying Twitter, but he had to wait like a month or so to actually get in. So I think when you look back on that first thread, we didn't actually see the employees say, yes, let's censor the story. We saw the higher up Twitter people say, listen, we need to really think about this. Why are we censoring it? We didn't see that the actual meat and potatoes of the radical employees saying, which I presume they emailed each other and said, listen, this is really negative against Biden. It's 10 days before the election. Let's pull it. And then, of course, they delete that so Elon Musk can't see it. I'm guessing that's what happened because it's like there's a big hole in the Twitter files there, and it is probably, they deleted the information on the actual situation because we couldn't find why is it being, they said it was hacked materials, but we didn't really get into it. It's like we got to the surface level. We didn't dig deep because I'm sure there's actual emails that'll show that these people blatantly admit to manipulating the election because they're pissed that that the story on the Hunter Biden situation might help Trump get elected. And now they're using the full straw man talking about how, they care so much about Hunter Biden, it doesn't matter. I don't even care about Hunter Biden anymore. I care about censorship and manipulation of U.S. elections. It is a major issue, and that's why part of the reason Elon Musk had to buy Twitter, had to shell out $44 billion Of course, none of this would even be a thing with all of us talking about this if Elon Musk did not have the money to do this. We would be left arguing with people that don't believe in freedom of speech, and that goes back to the whole idea. Why won't they cover the Twitter files? Why won't they cover the China protests against the horribly communist government? Well, it's because they believe in that style of government, so they can't fight it. They can't cover it. It is total hypocrisy for them, so they're just not going to talk about it. Try and talk to a liberal about the Twitter files. They're going to call it a nothing burger. They might try and defend censorship, but they're probably just going to say, I'm not interested. It's whatever. It's a nothing burger. That's what you're going to get out of them, because they do believe in internet censorship. They do think the general public is stupid and needs to be told what to do by certain controlled individuals, especially on Twitter. That's why they supported the sitting president getting banned, things like that. So they think the general public is dumb and needs to be spoon-fed certain information that's suited best for them. Elon Musk takes it over and says, no, we're switching it, and they throw a hissy fit and call him, they play the hits. Elon Musk is a sexist, he's a racist, he everything, right? Oh my God, it's so bad. People stopped caring about, when a liberal calls someone that, it's like, oh my God, the sky is blue, right? Like, you've completely made those words meaningless because you call everyone you don't like that. Do you realize what you've done? You've made the words meaningless. Because it's like their trigger thing. I'm going to call you a racist or a sexist, or whatever they call people. And it really is sad and pathetic because nobody that with an actual brain takes it seriously. Because when you start calling everyone the same thing, the word becomes meaningless. So guys, that is going to do it for this video. We'll have to see what happens with the Twitter files. More leaks possible, I'm sure. But the real smoking gun on this Twitter files drop, in my opinion, was the, you can see the overall tabs there and the ability to manipulate what accounts get shadow banned and stuff. And then you do have their CEO coming out saying it's not happening when it is happening. So that is all huge stuff that we all kind of knew, but now we've got it confirmed, and we have the screenshots of it happening via the Twitter files release. So guys, it's not close to over. Google is still totally controlled and it's censored. It's so sad. You've got a free Google up. I don't know how you do that because it costs so much more than Twitter, but it's just the start. And the citizens that use these the internet and Google and YouTube and Facebook and things like that, there needs to be an outcry against censorship and really the transparency, the idea that you can shadow ban someone on a huge platform and really possibly affect their income and things like that. It is despicable, and we need to guard against it. And listen, Elon Musk has come out and said total transparency. We're going to tell you if you have a shadow ban. I think shadow bans on any platform should be illegal. They should be completely illegal. If you do want to ban someone for saying something that's against your policy, you need to tell the user why they're being banned, how long they're being banned, what they can do. There needs to be way more transparency. You can't shadow ban someone and then you've got this person who's shadow banned and they can't really do anything about it, and it is pure manipulation, and they're trying to suppress certain things so younger kids can't see it. And then unfortunately you have the very sad situation like 97% of kids voting Democrat. And I'm not saying that because I hate Democrats. I'm just saying when you have 97% thinking one way, that is never a good situation, pretty much no matter what. So guys, that is going to do it for this video. Make sure you follow me on Twitter. Link to that's always in the description. I'm, of course, the Depressed Ginger. Thank you for watching.